This is the old motor that I already removed by myself. Pretty easy. There's these 13mm bolts that you just undo, and they're attached to the bracket from the top. And this was the old railing, which used the chain drive. It's also pretty easy to detach. 13mm bolt, you undo all of them and it comes off pretty easy. And then get the chain off is relatively easy as well. There's a piece, there's a master chain lock that you use a screwdriver and pry it out, and then the chain breaks apart. Today we're gonna install a garage door opener made from Timberland. The model number is B221OT, belt drive. This comes with the MyQ app. You can open, close a garage door remotely through Wi-Fi. All right, what's inside the box? I already opened it. We have the light cover, a backup battery, wiring for the sensor, remote, wall switch. This is a bracket for the sensor. And over here we have the belt, the motor, the mounting rod, and the hooks and brackets. All right, let's get started. The first thing is we're going to connect the mounting rod. I labeled here, this is the top, because you can see this U-shaped cutout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces for a 7-foot garage door. And we can connect them by snap these pieces together. Now on the second rod, we're gonna stick a screwdriver and we will attach the trolley through the rod. And this part is pointing toward the motor. About 6 inches from the end of the motor unit, we have to attach this cover protection bolt. Now this U-bracket attached to the motor, and on this end, it inserts into the railing. Let's do it. First we insert the U-unit into the railing. And make sure the flat side is down so we can attach to the motor unit. We have to take off these 2 bolts. This is 13mm bolts. You can also use 1/2-inch drive. It's the same size as 13mm. Hand tighten the bolt. Do not use power tool. Now, at the door end, we have to feed the belt through the rod. You can see here's the opening. This is where the pulley goes. And then we have this 13mm bolt that goes from the top, secure the pulley in place. And this is a nut that tightens it. And the belt loops around this pulley. Make sure the hills and valleys in the inside. Now we secure the bolt. And run the belt through. This tab here, we have to use a flathead screwdriver and bend it to 90 degrees. This is pretty close to 90 degrees. All right, made a mistake. When you run the belt through the rod, you can see the hook side needs to be facing down and loop around the trolley. Otherwise, you don't have a hook at the other end. There's no way to hook to the trolley. So make sure when you're looping it, the hook goes through first. Then you can put the pulley on. Now we run the belt through and hook to the trolley. Insert it and turn. You can see now it's latched. Okay, now we tighten the belt. You can see we have a screwdriver here to prevent the trolley from moving forward. And then we're gonna wrap around the motor. At the other end, we will attach to this point, the trolley shaft. We're gonna unscrew it and attach to the trolley. Screw it back on the other end. Just do a couple turns so that it doesn't come off. And then this will connect to the other end of the belt using a master link. This master link part we connect to the trolley shaft, and the other end we connect to the belt. Then we can lock it together. This piece here, we snap it into place. Okay, after we connect this master link, we can adjust the spring so that the belt has secure tension. And make sure there's no kinks or twists and turns in the belt. All right. All right, now we have connected the belt to the railing and attached to the motor. This is how it looks like. All right, the next step is we have to release the spring from this C-shaped clamp. So take 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter and flathead. Now on the flathead, we have to make sure the clip does not move, and we'll turn the spring nut. Okay, see, now the spring is released and we have very good tension on the belt. Everything is snug and secure and ready for the next step. All right, next step is we have to put this cover on, protect the gear mechanism. We have 3 flathead screws we'll take off and then put the cover in. One, two, three. 3 flathead screws secure the cover in place. All right, this is the final assembly result. And the next step, we'll attach the header bracket, which is this piece here. Measure the opener width, 10 inches on the new. And over here, this is the old one. And it's also 10 inches, which means the old bracket can be reused for the new opener. And the header bracket as well can be reused because the pin size is same. Header bracket will be centered over the garage door about 4 inches above the spring. And this is fastened to the structural support. Make sure do not attach to the drywall. In my case, the header bracket is attached to the stud behind the drywall. Since I already have the header bracket from previous installation, I can reuse after checking it's the same height, as this will save some effort. Now it's time to place the assembled garage door opener into position. Position the opener so the end of the rail reaches the header bracket. If the door spring is in the way, raise the motor unit onto a temporary support. In this case, I'm using a ladder. Now connect the rail to the header bracket using the clevis pin and secure it in place with a ring. After you connect the rail to the header bracket, open the garage door and connect the motor to the ceiling bracket. The motor support bracket is not included in the box, so you must supply one along with all the hardware to fasten the garage door opener to the ceiling. My current garage door opener is 7 feet and the previous one is 8 feet, so I will need to adjust the position of the ceiling support to match with the new length, which is now 8 feet, 1 foot shorter than the previous opener. Use a tape measure and marker to measure the distance from the supporting bracket to the garage door opener. Cut the bracket into the right size and length. Next step, we install the light bulb and the backup battery. Now we install the door arm to the trolley. Check you can disconnect the trolley by pulling down on the emergency release handle and slide the trolley over to the door. Then we can attach the door arm to the garage door. The door arm consists of curved section and a straight section. Use the provided clevis pin to connect the straight door arm to the trolley and the curved door arm to the door bracket. Safety reverse sensors are to be installed next. Make sure it's 6 inches from the floor. Snap the sensor bracket into the door rack. Then mount the safety sensor using the provided wing nut and bolt. And follow the instructions for routing the wires that are attached to the sensors. Since this garage already has existing wire in place, we'll follow the directions for connecting the safety sensor to the existing wire. And next step, we can install the wall control. Simply follow the direction in the installation instruction manual. Place a wall switch at minimum of 5 feet above the floor so small children cannot reach it. Connect the white wire with the white connector and the black wire with the black connector. And then plug the garage door opener into the electrical outlet, but do not run the opener yet. Check the safety reverse sensors. A transmitter sensor is amber color LED, and it should be solid. And the receiver sensor is green LED. It should be on solid. If the sensor LED is off, make sure the garage door opener has power. And also check the wiring from the sensor. There's no broken or shorted wires. Make sure the sensor are connected to the correct terminal to the opener. If the receiver sensor green LED is flickering, try loosen the wing nut and readjust the sensor position so the green LED is on solid. Next step, we will set the travel limit, tell the opener where to stop. Follow the instruction manual. You will use the up button and the down button and the adjustment button to set the limits. Press and hold the adjustment button until the up button begins to flash. Then press and hold the up button until the door is in the desired up position. Program it. Then repeat the same to adjust the down position, then hit program. After you program the door travel, place an object over the garage door and test the safety reverse sensor. Then test the wall switch, the remotes, and safety relief rope. The garage door opener installation is now complete. A big thank you to Smith's Garage Door here in Portland, Oregon for helping me with this final installation. They offer expert advice at fair rate and are available for emergency calls. Their contact number is in the description. Thanks for watching.